All right, going live here. All right, this is my first live stream, but I'm going to do an unboxing and review of the ET5X by Anet. So they sent me out this model to review and to see how it is. The last Anet I tried was the Anet ET5X. I actually switched that over to the AM8. It's pretty much a custom build. But from what I hear, it's a lot different now. So I'm going to start this unboxing. Got my handy knife. I wasn't expecting this box to be so big. It's actually like probably the biggest build volume printer I will have. I'm interested to see how the sensor works with the auto leveling, because I usually use a BL Touch, but I know this one uses like one of those other sensors that go by how close it is to the bed. They actually sent out a whole roll of filament, which is pretty good. This looks like it's black PLA, so that's kind of nice with them. Hopefully you guys can see this here. Anything I will lift my computer, but this is how like it's packed full foam. Right now it looks like it's all metal, 2 parts. Got the power supply, wire. Appears to be a spool holder, which I kind of like this one. I actually bought one of these spool holders for my Anet. It's like the one that goes above and then to the side. I feel like those are the best. All right, what is this? I'm surprised they put it in here like this. This is the infamous. Let's see if I can get it out. Nose pliers for the cutting away filament. I'm surprised they actually have a full manual, so which is good. I always like to see the physical ones, because nowadays they just throw it on the SD card, and then I usually like to have the user manual on deck. Installation actually seems pretty straight to the point. There's only actually 4 steps, but there's never really 4 steps, let's be honest. Because usually when things get shipped out, there's sometimes like the nuts and bolts, they get a little loose. So I'm gonna go in there and like tighten everything before put it to use. All right, let's see if I can get this so you guys can see it. Oh, look at this. Gave me one of those things to take out the print, which is pretty nice. This is the belts, which I'm pretty surprised. A lot of 3D printers I see coming now have the belts pre-installed, but I'm okay with that. Lots of goodies here. A ruler, which is actually pretty handy. A lot of these printers don't even come with these. It's just to level out the gantry, because sometimes when you get the 3D printer and this one has dual Z, it can come like shifted. So this way I can make sure it's leveled. Got a flash drive with a micro SD. So I'm assuming this is using micro SD. An extra replacement nozzle. Gave us 1 extra replacement nozzle. Screws here. This looks like it's probably for the filament holder. We have a wrench, a bunch of Allens, which is always good to have. It's always lose them. See if I can get this printer out. It's like so tightly compact. So it comes in 2 parts. We have the top with the gantry on it. See if I can pull this out. That's how it is right here. And this print volume is huge. I'm pretty excited for because there's a few things I had to print where I had to ask someone to print it for me with a bigger print size, or use mesh mixer and then cut it into two. So this is the one part of it. This looks like the upper angle for it. See if you guys can see me here. So I'm gonna put that to the side. And I'm gonna grab out the other one. Here goes the bed. Oh, this is the whole bottom. And this is the build surface, which kind of blows my mind because, for reference, here's my Anet build plate. And just look how much more I could print using the new Anet. Here we have the extruder, and it's all like in a bag, and it's all separate from the gantry already. It doesn't come pre-installed on there, which makes sense because the belts are detached, and it uses the V rollers, which I wish my other Anet has, because I also have a CR6, which I'll probably do a review about. And the V rollers seem much more reliable than just the old like linear rails. That was like the main base right here. And I have to throw this to the side. So here goes the main thing with the bed underneath. I like this a lot better than what some printers do because everything is closed off. If you look to the side here, let me do this. You can see that where you plug the USB is right here, or the old type of, I call them the printer wires. And then the power supply plug is right here, which is a lot better than having all those exposed like motherboard and stuff like that. I actually, for my AM8 build, I printed a whole undercarriage just to kind of duplicate what this is pretty much doing. All right, so now I'm gonna look at the instructions because I'm gonna do this here along with you, like if how it would be for user experience. So technically, you just take the two. Okay, so it's gonna be the first thing, and it's pretty much just putting the one part on top of the bed and then bolting it in, which is pretty neat. And then the way they do all the wiring is it's all behind the entry right here. And you can see that they have like all the wiring mapped out, which is pretty nice. I like when wiring is simple versus mapping it all out how the Anet used to be. Just checking if there's anything else in this box, which there isn't. So I'm gonna throw this all off to the side. All right, so let's get the bag with screws, Allen, and then the screwdrivers out. Let's come over here. Sorry if the quality is not the best. This is my first live stream using my laptop right now. I'm gonna get like a webcam or something like that if I do more of these. I should have did a live unboxing of my CR6 SE, but I'll do like a video of just reviewing it and things like that. All right, so I have to take 6 of these screws. I never understand, like, I get that some of these companies, they're not really too well off on English, neither am I, but they should just at least write something for each step. It's just pictures and look at it and that's it. But before I attach the two together, I'm gonna go in and make sure like all the the bolts are aligned with each other and tightened, because there's a lot of problems when they're actually pretty tight from what I feel right now. This whole bed has a plastic around it, which is interesting. This is a glass plate bed, which I like a lot better. I like that my CR6 actually came with a glass plate with the PEI coating sheet. This one doesn't have a coating sheet, so I might need to use glue stick or something. You hear that right there? That shouldn't be. It's a bit of a wobble, so I'm gonna have to tighten that. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but it's pretty bad if you have wobble like that. But again, it's probably not their fault. It's just from shipping and stuff like that from the factory. There's something locking it in place. I'm trying to see what that goes. The bed wire. If you take a look at the bed wiring, this is much better than what they used to do in the past with the connectors. This one is like a pretty like tough wire. It almost feels like one of these power supply type wires, which is pretty good because there's no risk of, fire or anything like that. So, do you like the wiring so far? Oh, I forgot. I don't even need to use glue stick because they gave me this build sheet, which will pretty much be adhering to that, hopefully. All right, there's a tape around all the connectors, so I'm just removing that as well. I don't know if I should tighten the bed now or wait. I see the V. They have like those the things for you can just tighten it with this. So I can always do it after as well. You can go in there and tighten the rollers. I think it's on this side now. Yep. It is pretty loose too. Oh wow, it's pretty stuck already. That's pretty good. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. From what I hear other people experience with different 3D printers. I haven't seen actually many reviews on the ET5, which is pretty surprising, but a lot of people let the old Anet define how Anet was as a company, and then they just stopped ordering stuff from there altogether. But for what it seems like in the past few years, they pretty much bumped up their quality big time than what it used to be. All right, so this should go right here, right on top. Let's see. I don't know if I have to move the bed forward. Let me just look at the instructions. Okay, it should go from side to side, but it's weird that I have it upside down. Oh my gosh. All right, that should go in place here. Yep. It's crazy how they make these printers so much quicker to assemble nowadays. I remember my Anet, like when I first got it, I was so excited, and it literally took me the entire day just to assemble. But I do still feel like that was a great experience as a first 3D printer because I learned how the wiring and stuff works with 3D printer, and it's taught me more than what I would have learned with something like this. but you still can. And this could still be a good first 3D printer for anyone. Because to be honest, if I had the option when I first got my 3D printer, I would have went with something like this. But back when the Anet first came out, there wasn't really much options like this unless you were going to spend over $1,000. And for the price that something like this goes for, it's crazy compared to what you think when 3D printers first came out. That's just like the Ultimaker or something like that. That thing's like stupid expensive. So the way this works, there's a, let's see if I can zoom in a second. The screws were already like placed in there, and there's this channel lock, and you basically go through the metal part of the extrusions right here, and then you tighten the channel lock until it turns on its side, and then it's pretty much locked in, which I do like this way. It seems like there's not going to be much wobble after I lock them in. Right now it is, but I haven't locked it. So, and again, I will go in here and check some of the other screws. It's pretty much to the point though where I won't even have to. I already put the wrench on a few screws, and they're pretty tight right out the box. But I can't say that's going to be the same for everyone, because some stuff does happen when it gets shipped. Since I got this from actually Amazon, it was probably like in the U.S. warehouse and probably didn't have that much time to even loosen on the travel. Crazy with Amazon too, because I contacted Anet a few weeks ago. I mean, not a few weeks ago, about a week ago, and they said they will send me a review model and whatnot. And it took only like 2 days, literally, for Amazon to drop it off, which is insane. I guess it depends on what part of the world you're from. So I'm tying this as tight as I can, just because this is something you don't want to wobble. If not, you're going to get some crazy looking prints, not in a good way. Yep. My Anet, I also my AM8, that was an Anet to begin with, and A8 it's pretty much not an Anet anymore, but still good because it's part of the community and stuff. I just put an SKR board on there, which is, I just powered it up yesterday, and it's so silent. It's pretty nice with the TT08 drivers. Now this one I don't believe has the the 2208. Sorry about that, drivers, but it's still a 32-bit board, which is really good. So it might not be as quiet, but it still might perform just as well as the one with the better drivers. All right, that's pretty tight. It's a little loose right here. I'm trying to see where that's coming from, because this is pretty tight up here. I don't like how that is shaking right there. So I'm going to see if there's anything in the back that's loose, because that's not good, obviously. All right, there's a few loose back here and behind the top things right here. I'm gonna see if I can raise up the gantry a little, because it's kind of hard to access the screws. So if I raise this up, I can get underneath here, and then after I'll check if it's leveled with the ruler. I probably will eventually change the extruder to a BMG or EZR. This is an all metal extruder, so it should perform okay, but I think with a BMG it will perform a lot better. It also has a run out sensor, which is pretty nice. I like that a lot. I'm gonna add it to my custom build, just because there is times where I will print when I'm sleeping, and I'll be at the very end of a filament and wake up and it's just printing in the air. So that's never good. Right now, seems all secure. Some of the wobble could be from this table as well. I usually don't print on this table because it does wobble a lot. Yeah. But this build volume really excites me, just because I don't know. I don't even know how I'm gonna print this big, but hopefully I'll find something. I'll probably today just print a Benji for this live review, just because I don't want you guys sitting here for 20 hours for something cool to print. But that should be neat too. Should take like an hour or some change. The only thing that I saw that I am looking forward to for this printer, well, not the only thing, but one of the YouTubers, I forget his name, it's TH3D. He's actually working on trying to get Marlin into this printer because it has their stock firmware and they haven't released the source code, I believe. I think they did, but I'm not sure. There's a couple people saying they didn't, some people said they did. I don't know why this gantry is still so... It's wobbling. This also gets secured on the side by 2 screws, I believe. So I have to add those on. I was getting a little worried. I was like, this is not good. The weird thing is I only see 2 eccentric, V channel lock screws. Oh, I might need to take it back out. See, I just hate these pictures. One, no one's screws are this orange. Well, they should have made it that red or orange or whatever color you think that is right there. But I think what I'm supposed to do is take one of these longer screws, put it underneath the channel lock, and then tie it in. Because right now I'm just like, there's no way it should be. Look at this. It's wobbling away. All right, so it says it came with 4 of those, so let me just count to make sure. A good thing to do is just count the screws that come with 4. And it looks like it's these, but also these are 4 too. So, but the ends of them are supposed to be flat, so you're supposed to put them underneath here and then screw it in. So let me retake that out. Should be a lot quicker than me to assemble, but I'm usually terrible at reading instructions and make something that should take 10 minutes, take 2 hours for some reason. But hope you guys are enjoying the stream. All right, so 1 underneath both sides. So this is gonna be a pain to take out because I'm like, let me just tie it tighter if it feels like the thing is moving. And it's pretty locked in. Well, there it goes. 1, 2. So this is going to be an assembly and a disassembly, basically. If you guys take the time to read the instructions, it shouldn't be as hard as I'm making it. Let's come over here, unscrew this. I got to see where I'm going to put this at, actually, because this is a large printer compared to what I've used. This is something if don't expect to put on next to your computer. I'll tell you that. Unless you have a huge computer desk. I don't. slowly, but surely, we'll have a 3D farm. I don't know about you guys, but you ever have like multiple 3D printers and then you don't know what to print on any of them? That's me all the time. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to have another 3D printer so I can print this and that. And then I end up printing nothing. I don't actually not print anything, but it usually takes me a little longer to find something to print. This is a little confusing right here. Crazy part is when I see people go live is you make all these mistakes and kind of shows what realistic expectation of when you first get your printer that you will make, but it's all right. It's not the end of the world. So what I think it does is it raises it up a little bit so that hopefully gonna lock it in. Should tighten it all the way though. And I'm wondering with the picture, it says 1 right here, if you can see that in the top left for the underneath the part. And I'm wondering if it's 1 on each side, or I'm gonna assemble this and realize that I need to take it off again. Yeah, but I am excited to get Marlin on here eventually. So I heard there were a few problems with the stock firmware, but I don't know. I don't know if everyone who gets this 3D printer will have the free filament, or I don't know if they just sent that to me, but it's actually pretty nice. I have noticed that more 3D printers have been sending out a full roll of filament, which kind of is surprising, especially for the cost of these printers. Oh, hey, Frank, you still in here? You got to show me how to set up these webcams. All right, so I believe it's supposed to be like this underneath. You have 2 screws on each side of here, so it should be 4 screws in total. And then you sit it on here. Yep, yep. That looks right. And after this live stream, sorry about that, I will try to have and also like a review of like printing using the full bed size and stuff like that, and not just the benchy, because sometimes you notice if there's any problems when you use the whole thing. This is still wobbly. I don't understand. I don't know if it's me or just how it is. I'm not a fan of that though. Ah, should be 6 of these. He says 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the side, there's is where these screws go. So it's like right on the right side. But I believe I have to again tighten the screws that I put underneath. I don't think I put them all the way through, so it's not all the way. I'll probably set up. I have 2 Raspberry Pis. I was gonna use one for my AM8, but if I end up liking this one better than my AM8, which probably will, I will switch it there. Threads are really tight, but I'm wondering if it's let me look at the the instructions that I have as a PDF. Or Anet actually has a pretty good video on how to assemble it as well. So making this more complicated than what it is. It's actually these 4 screws. They don't go underneath it here. You just place it on top like I had it, lock it with the channel nuts, and then put the other 4 screws on the side. And that should secure the whole gantry up top so it's not wobbling. Just weird because on the manual it shows 4 times, which is they labeled each screw with a number, which it kind of confused me because I saw a number, so I'm like, is it 1 screw or is it? But it's just how they classify the screws. I'm usually used to saying like M6 or M4 screws. All right, let's try this again. Flip this on its side. Put it in place. Screw these channel nuts in. That's locked. You have to screw the other side, but I'm going to put this on the side first. Put these screws on the side. There we go. Looks like common sense, but I guess I was trying to read the instructions this time, but I'm usually best off just going by. Make sure they're really secure. The switch on here actually feels a lot better than my CR6. Well, before I change the switch, I'll talk about that when I review that printer. But this switch feels fine. I don't think I'm gonna have to change it or anything like that, which is always good. I do like how this has the screen on it instead of like to the side or anything like that. It feels more minimal where I can just carry this and not worry about losing a part or screen want to fall off or anything like that. That's pretty tight. All right. Take these other 2 screws, lock it on the side with these channel nuts. The easy way to like lock these in is you turn them left, let them loosen. You'll see like the locking nut start spinning inside of this little extrusion, and then you turn to the right. I also have I don't see where. Oh, there it is. It has the regular PTFE tubing here, but I probably will just switch it to the. I have a bunch of Capricorn tubing lying around, which is I like it better because it has tighter tolerances. All right, that's locked in right there. Put this to the side. And the thing is, I don't feel this side lining up right, which is a little weird. But it is going in. Now, I was looking at Anet's website. They do make the 32-bit board with the 2208 drivers, but I don't know if I can just swap it out here. I'm gonna have to email them about that to see if that's possible. Depending on how loud this is, might skew me into putting that on there, but I don't think it will be that loud. I think this is a little tilted. Something I also want to try would be like a future video is taking characters from games, 3D models, and then just printing them out. I wanted to do it with like GameCube or something. I want to try. I've always tried to look for a Luigi Mansion STL file for 3D printing. I just can't find it anywhere. Or it's always like one that doesn't look good, or I know that they ripped it from a game and they're trying to charge money, so it's like I might as well rip it from the game myself. I also want to try it with one of my World of Warcraft characters. I think that'd be neat. I'm just trying to think what I can use to fully use the capacity of the bed size. I remember this one time, when I first got my my Anet. I was printing a bullet bill. This was a few years ago, and this was before I didn't even know about run out sensors. I don't even know if they had them. It's about like 5 years ago, and I went to sleep. It was looking fine. Went to sleep. It was pretty much like 98% done. I wake up and it's like the print was incomplete, and there was like a big hole that like looked like it burned into the bullet bill head. And it was because it ran out of filament. I don't know what it was doing after it ran out of filament, but it's crazy. It's like so much filament too. This isn't going completely in, which is a little weird. There we go. I just need to get an Allen screwdriver because turning this is so annoying sometimes. I'm gonna take a seat here. Actually, let me see if I can just move this up a little bit so you guys can see what exactly I'm doing. All right, so right here. I'm trying to put these screws in, but it looks like the top is not going all the way down, so it's kind of angled up in a way. I really do like how stable this bottom piece is, because I probably don't even need to put it on some kind of crazy surface or anything. It just will work well the way it is. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen this side a little bit too, and then just see if I tighten it too far over here without aligning it correctly. It's pretty much taking me an hour just to put on the top piece, which is kind of funny, because it should take me like 10 minutes. But I'm yipping and yapping over here. If you guys want like a full assembly video, I can like chop up this video a little bit too, and you guys can see. So, there we go. Yep, now it's aligning right. Lock that in. Interested to see how this will perform against my CR6. Now this costs more than the Ender, but I feel like for the features it has, it is worth it for the price, because you got dual Z motors, which Ender wouldn't have. You have the large print size bed, comes with glass. The screen is already a touch screen. The board is already 32-bit, so it's like you're really getting what you pay for here. The only thing I don't know how I feel about is the spring-loaded levelers. I feel like they could have went with the steady bed sheet, but a lot of people like to have the option of manually leveling and sometimes skipping out on auto leveling. But I personally love auto leveling. Especially like if over time your bed warps and you can just add more like leveling probes to it. All right, now that's stable. All right, so next up is assembling the hot end and I do like how it comes with zip ties, and these are actually the reusable ones, so you can take out and place back in. Let's just make sure I'm doing this. All right, I'm actually gonna plug up all the components first. Do what they recommend on their video. So I like how they approach this. They Let me actually put this towards the back so you guys can see. We got everything rolling around over here. If you look right here, this was taped down. Bam, you just plug it right to the Z. Should be just, there you go. And I like how the cable management is because it's hidden right underneath this huge box. Same thing over here, plug in the Z2. All right, that's it for that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this on its side. I should flip it on its other side. This thing has some weight to it. There's a look right here. This is actually where the power supply is, and the motherboard is all in here. There's these. I can secure the top piece with more screws actually, and that's what the picture was talking about. But they made it look confusing. It's kind of funny too because on the video that they have, ain't it? It actually says the M4 screws, whereas the pictures they use this weird numbering system. Yep. So there's 2 screws on each side to lock the top, which is pretty good. So it should be more sturdy than what it even felt like when I locked everything in. So I'm gonna flip this. All right, and there's 2 screws up here. Now, I guess since I ordered it from, what I like about this is I didn't have to set the power supply to it, which is not a big deal when I have to. But I guess since I ordered it and it's a US plug, it automatically switches the AC to 110 volts. All right, this should be the last screw for that. All right, so now I'm actually gonna put the extruder in. This is how it looks. Has the 2 fans here. Has what looks like a 3D printed fan shroud. Which is pretty interesting. And then it has the sensor right here for the leveling. And then I know you can adjust the sensor by just moving these. It has like a flat head right here. And then here goes the 3 rollers that they have. So I believe I just slide this in. See if I can do that easily. Something locking it. There's something locking it. I don't know if I should go from this side. There we go. You just had to like push it in a little bit so the rollers. Wow, that already feels secure. Now I have to add the belt. So let's see what this video says for the belt. Maybe this belt just goes in this way. What you're gonna do is put the teeth part face down. Slide that through there. Slide that all the way through. Wrap it around. I'm wondering where it locks in though. That's what I'm wondering. Aha. I think I see. And it recommends that I loosen the 4 screws of the stepper motor. I guess it'll alleviate some tension while I'm putting this in. That way you can like tension the screws after, and then I guess have the belt be tighter. Okay. You guys can't see this, but right in the back there's this these clips where you put in the belt. Now, I'm wondering how tight I should put them because that's the reason why. It's not around the full thing. I was like, there's so much slack. You got to make sure it goes around the roller here. And then this one has to go around here. Now there's like no slack. Let me pull this one through. That's good. It's not loosey-goosey. It's actually a little loose, but let's see what happens after I tighten these. So I don't think this is going to make a difference, but I'm going to tighten it just a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty loose. That's better. Let's tighten that a little bit more. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, we're almost done. So when you loosen this, you can actually pull it outwards, and then it can make it tighter. I was wondering why they said loosen this. So I guess this is their way of a tensioner, which is not bad. Now for this, you want to make it kind of tight, but not like like you're playing a guitar or something out of it. All right, that should be good. Pulled it out ever so slightly. I actually like this way of tensioning it. All right, yeah. It's not super loose, but it's also not like playing a guitar or something. There's a little bit of rubbing going on here, but that's good. All right, now on the back side of here, there's all the different connectors, and they label it pretty well. So I'm gonna run this to the back, and then you see right here it says end stop. So I'm gonna plug this to the end stop, which should be labeled right here. And you have the fan one. So that's that level is right here. It's nice. Temp right here. And stop. Hot end. This is hot end. That's what this is. This one, where's the label? I guess it's the only 3-prong one, so I'm gonna put it in. I guess this is for the level. LV, whatever that stands for. All right, and then there's fan left. So this should be right here. These are for the fans. And then, oh, the hot end's up top. And then you have this long cable here. This looks like an LCD cable, which should go right to the side. There's these clips. You just kind of pull them out. Kind of reminds me of like computer RAM, and you have like the clips and you clip it in. Yep. And this, I wish it went in a little more, but I guess it needs the slack for when it raises up and down the gantry. I mean, I think all that's left is the spool holder. Spool holder, and then putting in this PTFE tube, which I am going to switch to the Capricorn. Maybe I'll do that outside the video just for the time's sake. It's already been like an hour. And we have these zip ties that I can just kind of tidy this all up because it is looking like a hot mess. I love zip ties for wire management. You see my Anet. I think I went through like 100 zip ties. Now, obviously, you don't want to strain the cables too much, but you know what I mean. Bam, snip. Make sure I'm not missing out on anything else. So I can put a zip tie here. which I'm not going to do yet because I want to change it to the Capricorn stuff. All right, I think the last thing to do is just to I'm running over everything. Is to install the spool holder. Easy, just use these little screws with the channel locks. See if I can find the other screw. And this you can just, oh wow, look at all this. Some Chinese writing. I'm not too sure. I don't know what it means. Probably just says spool holder. I'm surprised they didn't switch that. You just kind of like lock it in place. I think I have it backwards actually. That's weird. Aha. So go something like this up here. So it should be this, and then I'm going to install that sheet that came with it, so I don't have to put any extra adhesives. And then we'll print something. All right, locking these in. I don't know if I should put this, I'll probably put it in the center or the left side. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll put it closest to the extruder, so the left. All right, that's secure. Grab a little coffee break. And just because they sent this out to me, I'm going to use this filament. I have a lot of other ones, but I'll give you guys the full experience if you guys have yours and what to expect. That's why I'm not going to change anything yet. This actually looks like a pretty nice PLA. It has like this matte finish to it, which actually feels really nice. Let's see how it prints though. Usually you just cut it. I'm gonna put it on top. See what I think for this spool holder. Looks like it needs to be. This looks like it needs to be on the end. So weird. Doing something wrong on this darn spool holder. Can't see what I'm doing, but I'm screwing it in because the spool holder wasn't fully secured. All right, now that's fully secured. Just running the filament through. Hopefully it didn't tangle. Nope, we're good. All right, gonna install this build plate. It's a nice Anet one. What you should probably do is I'm gonna take off these clips first from the glass plate. I do like how they use these type of clips instead of like paper clips. I'm not a big fan of paper clips on a 3D printer. I think it looks so ugly. All right, so now I'm just gonna. This is 3M, so it should be quite simple to install. But I always mess these darn things up on like screen protectors and all that stuff. It's always so annoying. All right. Okay, Nelly. Now they split the 3M in two, so. Perfect. If I ever just want to use the glass side, I could just always flip it upside down. So I think this will work perfectly. It looks pretty clean being all black like this. Check that out. All right, I'm just gonna put these clips back on. We'll plug it up. It's actually quite hard to put these clips back on. Now that the build surface has an extra height to it because of the don't want to scrape off the build surface. There we go. It's looking good. All right. Everything's plugged in. Belt is tight. I was wondering where that last clip was. It was in the box for some reason. Now, I wonder when we'll start to see printers transition from using end stops to sensorless homing. Because I know once you switch to the SKRs, you can do sensorless homing. So I'm wondering why they still give people end stops. I guess because of they don't want people just like jamming their beds into the motors and stuff. I mean, their motors to the. Don't make these clips easy to get on. One thing I could say. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna plug this up. Hopefully it's fine on this table because this table wobbles a bit. One more thing I had to check is if the gantry is leveled on both sides so that it's aligned. Let's get all this junk out the way. It's trash. What I'll do is take their, well, let me lower it down a bit. And take their handy dandy ruler. And we got, still not low enough for me to measure. Give me like, all right, so we got 5.5 on this side. Jump to this side. Five and a half. As for the see if it turns on. Hey, satisfying. Now it does have this nice menu. I do like that. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. It says print, prepare, settings. I'm probably gonna have to go to the settings first and then try to get this thing leveled. Now I've never used this type of layout, so I'm used to Marlin. They have a load, unload, level. Right here is auto, but I know I have to set the Z offset, so. I'm nervous if I home it, it's going to crash into the bed because this inductive sensor is not fully. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually push this down until I see the. I have to disable steppers probably. Unless I can just. Let me see if they have a control option, and then I can just lower the Z. I think this is it right here. Yep. That's going to work a lot better. What you do is you take a paper, put it right underneath. Well, there we go. Already jammed into the bed a little bit. I have it going by 10 millimeters. I just did it one by one. Sorry, you probably just see my head in this darn thing. I'll get it from the side. So, I mean, that's pretty tight right there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get a flat head. Should have one over here. And then I have to turn the sensor that's in there until I see the light. That way it'll tell the sensor where. There we go. So now I have a light showing. So now when I should home, it shouldn't crash to the bed. It should theoretically be fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna home Z and see what happens. Which I don't know is why it's raising the home. It's obviously it's gonna home everything. Well, that's not good. Something is blocking the bed from moving. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it off real quick and see what's blocking it. Because there's something that's blocking the bed from moving. That's not it. Something was locking the bed. I thought it was these little blue spongy things they have going on in here, but apparently that's actually for, I guess, better rolling or something. Right now it's not rolling anywhere, so. Maybe they do get removed. Crazy part is they don't even talk about it. Yeah, I think I removed these things. If anything, I'll put them back. It has like these little spongy things over here. I think it's, yep, that's what it was. The rollers couldn't roll on the bed because of that thing was in the way. I don't know why they would put that there. Hearing a little. Sounds like something's getting tripped up, but. Now underneath the bed, there's a full insulated bed, so it probably should get hot quicker too. That's pretty good. Now looking at that, I think it's just the belts that's creaking a little bit. It might be too tight, but I think this should work for now. All right. Let's try this again. Definitely not print yet. I'm gonna home. See if it crashes again. Now it is kind of loud. Definitely hear the motors going. Now, if they have anything on the SD card, I will print that. If not, I'll just do a Benchy. All right, so it did stop right where it should be. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Z. I just gotta make sure the offsets are fine because the weird thing, it doesn't tell me if my right there, that's tight, but I'm not sure. Usually I can lower the Z to 0 in Marlin, and then I can see if I need to put an offset or something. Okay, so I have it set to 0, and I press OK. Looks like it's homing. Not sure if you guys can hear that, but that is emitting a lot of noise. It's going down. I mean, that is a little loose. That's pretty loose, actually. So I'm at 0.05 right now. Let's see how that is. Yeah, I really like to throw in that 2209. I'm gonna email them about that, see if that's possible. All right, now that's pretty tight. So now I'm gonna try an auto level and see what happens. I think that's how you start to have it set to auto. Let's see if it goes to the corners. Wonder why it didn't level. And then it also lost the offset. Let me plug in the USB stick. Let me see where that goes. It's right here. Let me see if there's anything on there. I don't know if it's gonna level before every print. I mean, that would be ideal, I guess, but there's a pig on here, there's a cat, there's a dog. I guess I can see the hours of each one of these, and it's the short amount of hours one is the dog for 2.5 hours. So if anything, I'll show you guys like the first like few layers, and if that looks good, maybe I'll just post a video about it later or throw it on like Instagram or something. So I don't know if you guys want to wait 2.5 hours for this. But I just want to make sure it's leveled before I even I'm looking right here. There's something about the auto leveling. Ideally, I should probably heat up the nozzle before trying to level. I don't know if there's a preheat PLA settings or. Okay, so now it's heating up to 210 right now. It's probably because I put load filament. But so I'm gonna wait for that to heat up, and then I'm gonna try to level it. I'm gonna do like a manual level. Let's hope this paper is like A4. I don't really have, believe it or not, any A4 paper with me, so. I'm wondering why when I click different probe points, it starts all the way over here. So this is like too tight. It's always good to, like, even if you have an auto level sensor, is to level the bed first manually, and then from there switch to all right, that feels good. That's good. I'm just gonna do the full corners, and then I'm gonna do the full auto level and see what that gets me. This is like unbelievably far away. Underneath, there's like these knobs, pretty similar to like the Ender or anything like that. These knobs feel a lot more secure than Ender, though. All right, To the last corner. All right, that feels good. And then I'm just gonna do one auto and see what happens. I don't know where that creaking is coming from. I'm pretty sure it's from the belt. For some reason, the bed belt came really tight for some reason. So just looking at all this documentation they gave me. I do like this one. This one is pretty useful. Tells you about Z offsets, the auto leveling, the manual leveling, the loading filament, unload, um, the interface, and all that. I do like the way the interface looks, but I still wish it was Marlin. But I don't know. Maybe it will be good, just as good. We'll find out. I don't know why it raises the gantry so high just to start leveling. Look at that. What's it doing? So I think it's going to each corner and then lowering down. It is a little slow when it comes to leveling, but I know that's something they can just um, speed up through software. It doesn't have to be this slow. It is like, okay. It is getting fairly low just to level, so I might have to adjust that thing again. But it looks fine in some cases, so it's probably just leveling it. Because right now, I think when I set it with the manual, there's some points where I went too tight. Like right here in the top right, it's saying 0.01, and then a lot of them are already at 0. So it's probably, I think it's doing like 14 pro points or something like that, 15 pro points. It's probably necessary because of how big this bed is. As long as you're not moving this thing around too much, you can probably just auto level like every now and then. So I just think they could have sped up the leveling time. I wonder if I can throw it a BO touch in there too. That would be interesting. The thing is that the back of the electronics box where you plug in all that stuff, it's pretty like it's not proprietary. Like it has different things, but I don't know how the BO touch would plug into it because you had to connect it some way to the LCD as well. So, but I mean, if this sensor works good, then I won't ever swap to it. So what it kind of looks like right now is some places it is crashing to the bed, raising up, and then the other places it won't. So it's probably starting to get a little leveled. I'm gonna check some of these other screws on here too, because I didn't check the screws on the extruder. I did check it everywhere else basically. So it's going really slow though. But I can tell that I did do a terrible job with the manual leveling because right here it's like 0.0. Well, I guess that's not too bad as long as you're not seeing like super positive values. But this one's a negative value, so I'm surprised. So hopefully you can just at least see the first layer of the print. I'm debating if I should go get the benchy because then it will just take an hour and I can just keep it going. But I also want to see their pre-sliced files should be the best for testing the printer. It should be. This is auto leveling. This thing needs to be sped up. I think it is going a little too deep on the bed. So I can see that it is leaving a little bit of indents, which is not good. I don't want to need to change this bed sheet so quickly. Yeah, this is going a little too low. It's actually pretty insane how low it's going. Complete leveling. I'm pretty sure I do have it set too low. Too high, that inductive sensor. I'm debating if I should print or, I'm gonna click print. Worst comes to worst, I'll stop it, fix the leveling, and then I'll try again. I'm gonna do the dog file. It could be because I had the extruder too high in temperature when I was leveling. It was at around 210. I didn't even realize, which I should have did like 150 or something like that before leveling, because there is some visible holes on the bed. It kind of sucks on the bed plate, but that's my fault. So right now this thing says it's gonna be 2.5 hours. I can see all the temperatures raising up. I do like that. It is a clean layout. You guys can see. But let's see if might need to re-level. I don't feel like it because it takes a little bit, but if I have to. I think right now just the bed needs to heat up. It's at around 40 C. Trying to get it to 60. I think with the whole installation stuff underneath, it should be able to heat up quicker. But it could just be they did that because it is a huge bed. I am pretty bummed that I put a little bit of a hole on it, but these 3M sheets are inexpensive. Probably around like $8 to $10 to change the sheet. Should probably see if there's like a magnetic size, but for this size bed, it might be pretty expensive. It's taking a little bit long to heat up, but I assume it would for this size. Grab a seat. Always read the manual after I assemble, just to make sure. Yeah, it does say to adjust the eccentric nuts on the underneath the bed, which I did. I don't know if I tied it too tight for it because it is making that a little louder. All right, let's see. See if this just crashes down to the bed. Motors are loud, but that's just because of the main board, which can hopefully be swapped out in the future. Let's see. Yeah, that's I think that's going a little too low. Right now, nada is. Oh, look, it looks pretty good. That is a solid first layer. Could I move the sensor a little further down? Yeah, and I probably will after this, but right now it looks good. Now, when I do Cura or Simplified 3D, I probably will throw in the G code to wipe the nozzle because I feel like that's good practice and it will ensure the first layer is good. It's looking pretty smooth. Probably can't see because of how it's set up. We'll throw a little light. The thing is with the black filament plus the black build plate, it's kind of impossible to see until you see like 10 layers. I'll let it go for like 10 minutes and then we'll end the stream here. Overall, I mean, I think so far it's a pretty good build printer. The only thing I say I change is the drivers if they can, and then add Marlin. And then other than that, I think it's pretty good for the price too. I think this is like a dog or something. That's pretty quick. It's going. It has to be set at around like 60, 70. Oh, you guys can see in the background, that's my AM mate. I just put the, like I was saying, the SKR. So I'm just waiting for my big touch, whatever it's called, screen to come. And I was like a touch screen. Because originally I was going to put I had the 12864 screen from the A6. And I was installing it on there, but then you had to like splice the wires and do all this stuff for it. And then with the other screen, which is touchscreen, which is nicer anyway, you just plug it in, and then you just define it in Marlin. So that should be coming today, and maybe I'll do a stream or a video on how that performs. And then obviously I am going to showcase the CR6 too, because I do like that one a lot. This is pretty good. The only thing I can complain about is the noise. That is from the stepper drivers. If you have a problem with like a noise or something like that, I would either buy a better board or just buy. I think the Pro might come with the 2209s. This is the ET5X. And then so I know the person who's working on Marlin, that's for the ET4, but I'm pretty sure from what I was reading, it is the same printer, but this one has a much bigger build volume. So everything seems good though. I know this thing seems like it has Z hopping in there. I mean, the traction hopping, so it is hopping in between the build. The layers seem pretty smooth. I do really think I should adjust the sensor though, because it might be a little too tight on the bed, and it might get some layer issues because of it. I wonder if they make glass. I mean, they have. I mean, obviously this is glass, but I wonder if they make magnetic build plates that big. I am gonna change this tubing though, probably right after this print as well. Put the Capricorn tubing in there. I might also change the extruder soon to a BMG or EZR. Pretty inexpensive. Yeah, I'll probably set up the Pi here. I just picked this up like last week. This is the 3B Plus. I was gonna get the 4, but it costs more money, and then you need to have like cooling for it because it overheats or something when you use, I don't know, something like that. I was reading. So, and in Micro Center, these were only $25 for the Pi, so I picked up 2 of them. And then I also got one of those Pi cameras, which for this one I might do the Wise camera because it is you can do the night vision. So if I have the lights off and stuff like that, I don't have to worry about not getting my time lapse. This nozzle, oh, it is 0.4. I thought it was like bigger than that. Look at it. Sure, if you can see it there. That's just a replacement nozzle. For my other printers, I just ordered the steel nozzles, the harder nozzles, because I want to try more. Like I have glow in the dark filament, but I've been scared to use it because I was reading online that it wears down your nozzles and all that. But I want to try that in carbon fiber. I think that'll be pretty neat. I mean, this thing seems fine, so I might just close it off here. It looks like it's printing on a brim or something. I don't know why, but that's just how their file is. Maybe they think that's going to be the best quality for the print. Oh, this is pretty neat too. Look, it tells you if your nozzle's too close to the bed, too far away from the bed. Look, right here. The nozzle is too close to the platform. This can result damage to the nozzle and build platform. Well, oops. Yeah, huh. So the nozzle needs to be like 0.2 from the bed, but then the sensor is actually 2 to 3 millimeters away from the bed. So that is pretty interesting. What I could do, I could just like ruler it out or just move it till I see the light closer. I think it was just too far down the nozzle went. I couldn't tell that it was though because of the black build surface. So. I think this, well, it does. It also has the power off and power on function, which is actually pretty cool. It's also something that's in Marlin. It's pretty crazy. Is my uncle? He was printing this Darth Vader helmet. It was like a 4-day print, and something happened with the power in the house, and the power went off. So they were out of power for like 2 days. He unplugged the printer. He took out the SD card. He put it back in, whatever. And when the power went back on, he turns it on. Kind of stressed because it didn't say resume right away. He clicked on the SD card to load it, and it said resume printing. The nozzle went back to the corner, heated up, began where it left off. Now, no layer shifts, nothing like that. Pretty crazy. So like having something like that plus like a run out sensor, like you're pretty much setting yourself up for not having failed prints overnight or something like that. So this is looking good. probably can't see it here, but the layer seems fine. I can hear the filament rubbing a little bit because like I said, the Z is a little too low, but it is printing on a brim, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, I mean, this is gonna take. It's only 13 minutes in, and it's 2.5 hours, so I'm just gonna end it here. If you guys want to see another live stream or review, like an in-depth view, I'll probably do that too. Because obviously you guys are not even gonna see a print. But I'm gonna do like 10, 20 prints, whatever, something crazy. Try using the full height because this thing is like I'm all the way right here. Look how much it's insane. It's just my hand for reference and the build volume. So I'm gonna print like something in base mode and see how that performs. All right.